Now, this is dangerous water we're about to tread on. Dare I say, we might get canceled. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of UA Anime Club, the weekly podcast, sometimes, where we discuss the newest season of My Hero Academia as it comes out week to week. I'm your host, Seth, and as always, I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Poyo and Micah. Say hi, you guys.
Hi.
I'm eating the pulled pork with barbecue sauce.
We are also joined by a
Happy
guest.
Matt.
Listen here, you son of a bitch. Don't ever interrupt me. Don't ever interrupt me during the intro. No, we are joined by other Figure 8 member, Ethan Chaotic.
Woo! Yeah, that's my applause. That's the applause.
Twice's biggest fan.
Yep. I'm
The man, the myth, the legend for you UA Anime Club listeners.
That's right. We've discussed about Ethan before.
Yeah, I win.
Today is the 27th Sunday, so we're watching this a day after the episode was aired. We are watching episode 9 of season 6. This is episode, I think, 122? Correct me if I'm wrong. But Katsuki Bakugo Rising. This episode is probably the first, truly big episode of this season, I think.
It's a heavy hitter, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So we're just going to go through, as always, our synopsis, and then we're going to discuss the episode really in detail after. So the episode begins right where the last one left off. We with Aizawa getting hit with the quirk deleting bullet, and we see him grab his knife that he has in the back of his suit, right? And he, thinking of Eri while doing this, he stabs himself in the leg and just cuts it off clean.
Which is crazy. I don't think you can do that.
How do you cut through the bone so quickly?
I completely forgot about that. So when I saw it, I was like, holy shit.
We go to Shigaraki, and he's like, damn, that was kind of cool. But
you really are a cool one.
Because Aizawa took his eyes off to, do that, took his eyes off Shigaraki's powers reactivate, and he breaks free of Deku's grasp, who's currently holding him, and he charges towards Aizawa, and he grabs him by the face and starts clawing his eye, his eyes out.
Like his skin.
But before Shigaraki, it goes down from his forehead, so you see the skin peeling down, and he gets to his eyes.
It's crazy.
And before he can do any more damage, Todoroki comes in, uses his ice to kind of blast him out of the way. He was actually following Bakugo and Deku as they were running towards the battle. He's not as fast as them, obviously, so he was further away.
He did the Goku save.
They hit Shigaraki with a couple more ice attacks. Deku comes in, tackles him. He grabs Aizawa, gets out of the way. But Shigaraki, with his healing abilities, obviously he just gets up and he's like, all right, let's keep going. After that, we cut back to the town and the class, and we see on the news Gigantomachia, who had escaped from Yaoyorozu and them, has decimated, and I counted 19 cities on his way to his master. So that's 19 cities completely wiped off the map by this giant raging monster.
Yeah.
And we see that, and we go back to Momo, Yaoyorozu in the group, and they're like, oh no, we did not think this through. We get to see Tokoyami. He's at a little nursing center, a med bay, and he's holding Hawks, and he's just what the fuck just happened? Because Gigantomachia also ran through that area, and yeah, they're still reflecting. They managed to get away because a hero named Majestic uses his rings quirk that lifts everyone up, and they kind of they either shoot away or they teleport. And after that happens, man's just gets obliterated by
he
Gigantomachia.
definitely dies.
Yeah, he's definitely
he's dead.
dead.
He's not alive after that. All the students were like sad because they were just like, "Damn, we really didn't like that. Didn't help. Like, did we even really do anything?"
And Monetta's being a doomer.
He's being reasonable. Yeah, this is the most reasonable thing he's done.
So yeah, then we go back to the doctor, and he's explaining that all of the Nomu are essentially just little mini versions of Gigantomachia, and that now that Gigantomachia is awake, everything, like, the heroes are completely lost. There's no coming back from this.
Unstoppable force.
Yeah, he's an unstoppable force. And then after, we go back to Shigaraki and his fight with the heroes.
With basically just Deku.
Yeah, with Deku, essentially, because all the heroes are trying to nurse Aizawa back to health. Shigaraki, he's about to try and fight them again, but like a big portion of his body just like splits open and blood just like spews out everywhere. And he's like, "Wait, what is today's date?" Because he realizes that he's out of his like containment tube way too early, and his body couldn't keep up with like the amount of like strain and stress it was while fighting without quirks.
Right, yeah.
So as his body is like kind of slowly getting back into the groove of using his like regeneration quirk again, Deku realizes this and he just goes for it. Right, he grabs Shigaraki with Black Whip, and he also grabs everyone else around him with his Black Whip, and they fly up into the air. And we realize that Deku has awakened his next power, which is Nanashimura, the 7th One For All users quirk, Float.
I loved that scene.
Yeah, it was really good. So yeah, Deku can fly now.
He can float. He can't fly.
He can float.
Same thing.
He could always fly, technically, because he like
oh yeah,
a bird, because he can kick the air really hard. But now he flies more like Superman, essentially, where he just levitates. So he puts them down, but he's still holding Shigaraki, and Bakugo's like, "Yo, dude, he's after you. He's going to kill you. What are you doing?" He's like, "I am the only one who can fight Shigaraki with his quirks by keeping him in the air, and so he doesn't like destroy everything around us and kill us all."
His quirk has been upgraded. Anything it touches around it, just dies as well.
That's happening. Deku lands in a couple of hits, and Bakugo continues to watch. And we zoom in on his eye, and it flashes back to them back at school, and they're like training.
Ethan Chaotic is actually there, surprisingly, instead of Deku.
Afro Deku.
Yeah, Deku has like this brown afro hair because he's playing this like training game with Bakugo where he keeps blowing up his face.
Blew up his face and made
his hair up. They explain that Uraraka, Froppy, and Sero are here because they're gonna help Deku train how to move around in the air. And All Might explains to Bakugo, like, yeah, we're doing this because once that quirk awakens, we don't want a repeat of last time where he's just like unable to control it. So we're gonna just teach him how to fly before he can fly. And as this conversation is happening, Bakugo's like, yo, someone is going to notice that.
Yeah, like someone's gonna realize that like
this isn't just airtime.
Yeah, like, there's more to his quirk than just like, because he keeps developing new things like every fucking few months. So like
something is up with his power, and it's unexplainable. So it's going to be even like more attention grabbing if people like catch on. Bakugo also mentions that in the notes that All Might made for Deku in regards to all of the previous One For All users' quirks, the deaths of most of them are detailed except for the 4th. It's like in the flashback they even like show that it was completely crossed out, and Bakugo's like, why did you do that? And All Might's like, he doesn't need to know. He doesn't need to know that because it's not good for him to know.
Also, that All Might just kind of doesn't have proof of it yet.
He just doesn't know.
Yeah, if what he wrote down will happen, and he's like, well, we don't know if it's gonna happen, so I don't know either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bakugo also gets like kind of introspective about Deku here. He admits to All Might that Deku, he's always caring about others except for himself. And Bakugo, it made him like feel weird, and it made him feel like he ignored his own weaknesses. So he basically just like pushed Deku out and was like, "You're, I don't like you, weirdo. I'm gonna bully you."
He felt insecure.
Yeah, he felt insecure about like just Deku in general. So All Might brings up, he's like, "Yo, is this kind of like with training him? Is this your way of atoning and saying you're sorry?" Bakugo doesn't like say yes or
He's
no.
like,
but,
I don't know, maybe.
but All Might kind of did read him like a book here. All Might brings up like, you are very similar to our good old friend Endeavor. After Endeavor realized that I wasn't all powerful anymore, his outlook on life and his personality sort of shifted as well. And there's like that parallel between like Bakugo being the Endeavor to Deku's All Might.
Without the whole thing about being his kids, but
yeah, it
yeah.
got to the atonement part before Bakugo go crazy. But yeah, so we come back to the present, and basically we see Deku is still fighting Shigaraki.
He's going to town.
He's breaking his body.
Beating that bitch up.
He's like destroying himself. And Bakugo realizes that this is pretty much a war of attrition. Deku is going to keep wailing on Shigaraki, and Shigaraki is going to keep healing. There's no possible way for Deku to finish Shigaraki like quickly at all. He is going to die.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes up with a plan. He's like, okay, Endeavor, I'm gonna launch us up into the air. Todoroki, you make sure that like Endeavor is like cooled down so he can, unleash his flames at the last possible second. So they launch themselves in the air. As soon as Deku is far away enough from Shigaraki, they throw Endeavor towards Shigaraki. He grabs him. He does his plus ultra prominence burn attack, and he just burns the ever living shit out of Shigaraki alive. Like this
crisp.
Yeah, the voice acting in this scene with Shigaraki's voice actor, he is screaming as if he is actually being burned alive.
Right.
It's actually like really, really like makes your skin crawl almost. But while this is happening, Shigaraki once again hears the voice of All for One, and he says, "Tomura, let me take control." And then there's like the episode, there's this cool thing where it's like a TV like turn off.
Yeah.
Like flash, this crispy, like detailless corpse that was once Shigaraki launches like spikes through his back to like stab Endeavor to get him off of him.
The same way All for One did.
Yeah. And then he uses those same like tendrils from his hands to like launch them at Deku. And in that moment, we see like flashing sparks, and Bakugo comes in and he says, within that moment, it was like I wasn't even thinking. Like my body moved on its own, pushes Deku out of the way, and takes the hit for him. And that's where the episode ends.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's getting stabbed, we see young Deku from that flashback seasons ago as a kid reaching his hand out to help Bakugo. Then the episode ends. And goddamn, this was a good episode.
It was a very good episode.
Goddamn.
Let's start off with the obvious. First of all, these heroes are getting clapped.
Yeah.
They're getting fucking clapped. I remember I forgot what character said this. Oh wait, no, I think it was because like the doctor, he was talking about how this was the plan all along to like lure the heroes into that one spot and then cause all this destruction. And it just kind of settles in that like all of the heroes are in one area and they won't be able to make it to any of these cities that are either getting destroyed or are going to be destroyed.
Right.
Like it's just they had the upper hand. They won. The heroes lost.
Yeah,
so
like
fucking
Gigantomachia. He's such a fucking force. He's impossible to stop. Like even Mount Lady just could barely like do anything.
Him.
And he's just going through cities, running at like incredibly fast, destroying everything and probably killing thousands, maybe
thousands
millions.
of people.
Yeah,
Well,
all
like
of those
tens of
civilians
thousands,
are
at least.
dead.
Tens of thousands, like just instantly. Because imagine like there's just a shot in this where like you see just smoke or like basically smoke, yeah, and you hear the sounds of like rumbling within the city.
Rumbling.
You just rumbling. You just imagine like instantly a huge fucking monster just goes through your entire city like instantly. That's terrifying.
Yeah, we counted 19.
19 cities.
19.
That is
And like
fucking...
cities have tens of thousands of people in them.
Yeah.
Now times that by 19, Jesus.
What did we say? What
Jeez.
did we say before? This is like Japan's third 9/11 or some shit.
This is worse than 9/11.
This is debatably, yeah, because like it's
It's
literally
anime.
like a massacre. Yeah, a massacre. So many just getting fucking bodied, and it sucks too because like the students, they really, it's just that moment of like despair where they're just like, we tried to like we tried to stop the situation, but even then, like, did we really even do anything?
Right.
Like, if anything, we might have made it worse.
That's like such a gut feeling for them because you can like
Especially
tell
because these are children.
And they're destroying. They know like because they couldn't do anything, thousands are dying, and a huge monster is just on the loose.
It's like, as I said last episode, the Armored Titan theme song, you could put it over here and it would just work.
Yeah.
Like it is like Attack on Titan levels of just giant monster destruction. And
I said this the other day, but I think any series could just use Attack on Titan songs and it just fit.
Yeah, Kisawara.
Last episode was the setup of the fight. This is like we're now in it. I think the anime did it pretty well.
I think it did it very well.
Yeah, I think it did pretty well. It's not like the best in terms of animation compared to like previous episodes this season, but like I still think it had a lot of strong points. I think it still like did it pretty well. The music was really good.
It's still
like,
very solid.
It's really emphasizing now that like everything's going to shit. Everything is going to shit.
I want to know, like, on that topic, like, with the music also very anxiety inducing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
You can really feel just the dread within it.
Like, I've read this manga and I'm still just like, oh, look, low-key because I forgot some of this stuff, but also I'm just like, oh my god, like,
dude, Aizawa cut his leg off. You audibly gasped.
You're just like, because I forgot he did that.
Literally,
oh my god, yeah.
Every time I see the doctor come on screen, I just want to see Present Mike scream in his face until he dies.
Face.
No, just like use just cork on him until his ears bleed and he dies.
Blows up his brain.
I just want to watch it happen. I want to see his brain melt out through his nose.
Because I know he's mad. I know he's mad. And like Shigaraki, we keep saying this. Shigaraki is just like OP as fuck. Like, I'm gonna say this: they're doing a good job of making this dude look as gross as possible because like he's fucking scary looking, dude.
During the part where his body starts to give out and like his skin rips, you see like the muscle fiber. Also, there's a shot of Deku in this episode looking at Shiggy, and he is like so angry. It's like, the angriest I've ever seen him look.
You know when like a kid is like having a tantrum? I don't know, it's not a tantrum, but you know when like a kid is like they're like shitting and crying and pissing and dry heaving and shit. Like it looks like that. Like he wants this dude dead.
Yeah.
He wants this dude to die.
Like he said, like I think it was maybe the last episode or something, but he was like, Shigaraki, I can never forgive you.
Yeah. Out of everyone, I couldn't forgive you.
Yeah.
Craziness. And like
there's a bit here where Deku, he's like about to punch Shigaraki and he's completely animated on ones and it looks so good.
There's a lot of good Deku shots in this.
There's so much fluid movement this episode.
There's a lot of good shots in this, which is good. And like, can we talk about Bakugo? I want to talk about
the star of the show right now.
The star of the show.
Worst character. No.
Literally my favorite character. I've always loved Bakugo. I know people be like, I didn't like my I've always loved him. I saw
you're an OG.
Yeah, I was an OG Bakugo truther. That's
Bakugo
my boy right
shot, like when I read this in the manga, he shot up to like the #1 spot.
He's just a well-written character, you know? And the thing about it is that like you understand him, even if you don't necessarily like what he did to Deku. Like you understand why he is the way that he is. Mm-hmm. And like at this point in the story, even before this, I would argue that he was already growing. But at this point, it's like he's fully acknowledging why he ended up bullying him and like reflecting on like his actions and stuff, and it's really good.
Dude was just insecure and he thought the Deku was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not even that he was weird, it's just that like I think it's more so that like Bakugo was already praised as a child for having such a good quirk. So when a kid like Deku, who has no fucking quirk and is a weak ass bitch baby, is trying to like stick his hand out for him and help him, he sees that as an insult because Deku isn't on his level, or he never viewed him as on his level.
Yeah.
And then as they, you know, go to UA and start training together and stuff, like Deku is starting to, you know, have the upper hand on him. He's starting to get powerful. At this point, he is more powerful than Bakugo. And Bakugo couldn't process that because all his life he's been told that he is like a prodigy kid, because he is also smart. Like he's a smart kid. And he was super duper powerful in terms of his quirk. But the thing that he was lacking, which Deku had the entire time, was like, you know, like actual like hero qualities aside from just being powerful. Deku just didn't have the quirk, but he had the heart. And Bakugo had the quirk, but he didn't have the you know. Like, I don't know, man. It's just so good. I love Bakugo, and I'm tired of the slander.
I've always liked Bakugo.
I'm not gonna say he's hated because everyone likes Bakugo. It's just that it's like people always say like, oh, he's an asshole. It's like, yeah, that's the point. He's supposed to be a dick, and he learns from his lesson.
Characters can have flaws, including extremely massive flaws.
Mm-hmm.
I think
there's character development that makes that more understanding and better.
I think one thing. This isn't even about the writing of the show. I think Bakugo's voice actor sounded not to his fault, but he sounded a little different, and I'm just like that vocal cord transplant.
I don't even think it was that, because he's been yelling the entire season. I think it's just that this was a moment where he didn't need to fucking scream. It's just that he was just reflecting, and like he was a bit more somber, and like was just talking to All Might, you know, which I really like. I like that.
I liked it too. I could just tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to like when the dub catches up with this.
Oh because
I really want to see Deku's VA. I forget his name exactly. But
Justin Briner.
Yes, Justin Briner. I really want to see his delivery.
I also want to see Clifford Chapman because he's Bakugo and he's very good as Bakugo.
He's so good. Yes.
I want to hear Shigaraki.
I want to hear Shigaraki as well. I want to hear everyone because the dub is just good. So like,
it's very good. I love him.
I think they're two episodes behind. I'm not sure.
I think it might be 1 or 2 episodes
I think it's
behind.
Because
like
with Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man is like 2 episodes behind. I think that's how it is.
We're watching this. We watched and recorded this a day after it came out, and I remember yesterday some of y'all on Twitter were saying that this was the worst episode you've ever seen, acting like it was nothing but a slideshow. I'm not sure if we watched the same show.
No,
I don't
we
know
didn't.
if you got like a beta version.
I think some of y'all lied.
I think
some of y'all are liars.
We had a scene on ones, bro.
Two of them. We had two of them.
Two of them were on ones. And you know what I don't like? I don't like liars. I don't like people who spin lies.
We also had a really creative, I guess,
presentation editing,
TV editing theme, because there was like the flashback with Bakugo at the end where he like views his own memories, and it's like a old like CRT look, and then you had like the switching of All For One and Shigaraki's personalities as the TV turning off. I thought there was like a really creative. There was like really creative like presentation here as well as good animation. So I don't know what y'all are saying.
And even when the animation wasn't like necessarily great, I can tell that like it's literally like tricks and things that other animes do to like, you know, set a tone, set a scene. Like I don't know what people were expecting. It wasn't even like they skipped anything in the manga from what I'm sure of. So I'm like, y'all can't complain.
I think a lot of people have been spoiled with shows like
I agree.
Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Mob Psycho 100, and One Punch Man.
All of these really good shows.
That they've forgotten what a typical anime episode looks like.
Yeah. I feel like some people don't even realize that like some 12 episode animes don't even look that good. And they
Yeah.
have way
Yeah.
more time.
and
Like,
less to make.
This
Yeah.
is
Considering-
also
and, like-
a show that gets movies, OVAs, like seasonal anime episodes.
We only get
Thing about-
seasons once a year, but at Studio Bones they don't stop.
Yeah.
This is made year
Really?
round.
Don't they
Yeah.
have a? Isn't the studio literally just they just make My Hero? Like that's all
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah,
And
that's
like
all
they
they
do
do.
it. They do it. They do it back to back. Like even when a season ends, like this is I'm pretty sure this is how like most shows are made. Like shows that are ongoing. But like once a season ends, they're still making My Hero. Like they don't stop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they take a break, but like I don't think they really do. They just keep making the show. So like I can understand people noticing a dip in quality. I noticed it too, season 5 especially. But the problem is that it's like maybe it's just that one, I know a little bit more about how shows are made. Like I know a little bit more about how like the process of anime, because I know most people just don't know that. And that's not against them. It's just that it's like you have to understand like what the state of the anime industry and how shows like these are made.
Mm-hmm.
Like as time goes on, it's not gonna look as good as it looked in season 1 or season
It's-
2 or
it's
season
am-
3.
It's amazing that it looks good at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Considering what happened last time.
Like I would definitely say like at least compared to season 5's part 2, this season is just like incredibly more animated.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuz
Like it's more consistent.
it's
This
it's
is-
yes, that it's more consistent. Like cuz like I don't really notice too much of the cuts, like just like or static frames as much as like I did with season 5 part 2.
Yeah.
And I
Arguably,
think
if we were gonna say that, arguably, if this season people were gonna say an episode looked bad, two episodes ago was way like worse than this one.
what was
Oh
2
yeah.
episodes ago?
Literally last week we like watched an episode. It was good. It's just that like it was a lot more like flashbacks
Yeah.
and
static.
like reused animation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I
this
don't know,
episode was less of that. So like I don't fucking know.
Well, I think even the sorry, you want to go?
No, I already interrupted you once before.
Okay. I would say I think even the thing about that is that like the episodes to go harder on are the ones with I think more characters because
Yeah.
like one that looks better with like it would look better with more characters because if you have a lot of characters that don't look that good, it is way more noticeable than just 2 or 3 that aren't doing anything too crazy. And they still do crazy things, but it's like once you think about it, it's like would you rather your crowd of characters animated really fluidly or just like the one guy who got a really good shot, you know?
The one guy. It's just like I don't know. I can just like they're probably gonna save up more manpower and stuff for later shit.
That too.
I could tell that they're trying to like keep their resources like I don't know exactly how to put it, but like
They're not trying to go crazy all the
Yeah.
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't go look with this type of
Ooh.
anime.
I saw that
You-
cut again.
You cannot. Oh yeah, the ones shot. You can't go crazy constantly, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's
that's the
that's
thing.
impossible.
I feel like
for
at this point they can't afford to.
I'm gonna
Right.
Yeah.
bring up One Piece.
Okay, I was about to. Okay, you go.
The One Piece is real?
The One Piece is real. Everyone knows that right now, the One Piece anime, whenever a big episode comes out, it goes balls to the walls, Toei movie level animation,
Mm.
right? Those trend on Twitter all the time, or we think it's all the time because we notice it.
Yeah.
But a typical episode of One Piece that doesn't trend doesn't look like that. It's very,
Typically,
it is
even
very
like
rare for an ongoing anime to look like a movie, like every
Yeah.
episode. It's
even
impossible.
those best episodes in One Piece are still very paced slowly. they're still-
That's the yeah. I was about to say. Continue, Micah. Though.
Because like yeah, they can go crazy for those shots, but they also gotta like pace it much more slowly than My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
They're trying to. It's not like not in a bad way, but they're trying to distract you from the fact that it's going so slow with how good it looks.
Yeah, kinda.
In the nicest way possible, of course. Like that is not a negative for it to look good. It's just like that is all they can do. All they really can do is make it look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
And-
only so many like resources you can do for these.
I saw a video. Like a couple of weeks ago, and the guy in the video explained. I think it was a TikTok, and the guy in the TikTok explained like anime. The anime fandom has like, and his words, not mine, gentrified anime, where like in fandom, the only anime worth watching are the best of the best S tier anime.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
So because everyone is only watching the peakest of greatest anime of all time, the average anime somehow goes down in value,
Ugh.
even though it's not bad.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like
Especially with how much anime gets produced, like literally. So last
50
October,
50
50
anime this
shows.
season.
Last October we had like all the big stuff coming out. We had Bleach, My Hero Academia, Chainsaw Man, Spy X Family Part 2, like just a
Mob
bunch.
Psycho.
Blue Lock also came out, like just a bunch of shows that I know lots of people are looking forward to. But like Micah said, 50 anime. Some of that shit is probably fine, but it's just like no one cares because no one's watching it.
I think that's the thing. It's like you need to experience some okay shows in your life. Like
Yes.
if you only want to
That's-
watch the best things ever, you're a little baby, and that's simple. as
That's
that.
what
Like-
I'm saying.
if
Like
you-
you gotta,
if-
you
if
really
you're-
gotta take in. Sorry, you really gotta take in those like mediocre
Those
things.
7 out of
to-
10s.
You gotta humble yourself.
Humble yourself.
Exactly.
And the thing about it is that like I don't even necessarily think that like My Hero fits in the mid tier. It's not a mid
No.
show to me.
No,
Like,
of course
like
not.
I think people who say that My Hero is mid is fucking silly. You're silly. I think it's
You're a
just
silly
more
little
related
Billy.
to the yeah, you're a silly Billy. It's just more related to the point that like I don't know, maybe I've just gotten used to the fact that My Hero Academia, this is what it looks like. This is the quality level. Not saying that it's like bad, it's good. It's just that this is what it looks like. And that's gonna be it.
We can go back to the fucking early 2000s shonens where like episodes were not as well animated as they are today.
Or just
There
like
was, like,
came out
tons of-
unfinished.
Tons
or
of filler.
unfinished.
Yeah.
Tons of filler. Yeah.
Like, do you
That's
want
the
that? You don't.
thing. It's like you gotta experience this stuff. You can't avoid it. It's like you try your best, but once you run out of time, it's over for you.
I just
Yeah.
want to know, like, what
And
some of
I
these
get
people,
to kill you.
what some of these people expect. Because, like we said,
Literally.
they can't afford to make shit that looks like a fucking movie all the time. They can't afford to do that. That's just like, it's just not possible. And like, I know we have
Sorry.
shows nowadays, or even shows from years ago, like One Punch Man, that like fucking set the standard for like top tier animation. Even shows like One Punch Man, they couldn't continue to make it look like that because
right,
like
of course.
it
was
got
impossible.
fucking yeah, because low key One Punch Man was like, I don't want to say it was a fluke. It's just that like that was a one in a lifetime, like
Right, yeah.
There,
you know.
it had a lot of talent, and that's what saved, like,
And
helped it
Yeah.
be so good.
what?
That's the same thing with fucking Jujutsu Kaisen. The reason why
People-
Jujutsu Kaisen is so fucking good is because it had a great director and it had like great talent that worked on the show, you know.
People, again, spoiled with only watching the top tier stuff, right? I don't think they can actually appreciate anime
Yeah.
without having to, like, because back in my day, I was watching like the free shit on Crunchyroll.
Mhm.
That was like the 6 out of 10, anime. So when I see
Right.
episodes like this, I'm like, wow, I really can recognize this is good quality.
Mhm.
Mhm. I think that's the other thing too, is that like I said earlier, people just don't know how anime is made, and even if that's the case, they just don't like appreciate, like, I don't know. I think just because I'm an artist, like most of the time I just feel bad for Bones because they have to constantly churn this shit out.
like sometimes anime fans are so entitled that they'll tell animators to quit their jobs and join other animation studios.
Oh yeah, the dude who worked on One
Yeah,
Punch Man season 2,
yeah.
Crazy.
who did like the best
Kenichiro,
cuts.
yeah,
Which is-
Kenichiro Aoki.
That's a really good point because like season 2 got a lot of hate, even though it's very well animated still.
Yeah, it still has a
Yeah,
lot of good
it
episodes.
doesn't look as good as season 1. It
Of
would
course.
never look as good as season 1. But
no,
like, it's
no
still,
studio picking up would be able to make it as good as season 1. That's another
Yeah.
preface. Like
Yeah.
no
Another
studio
thing-
could have done that.
Another thing with Mappa, like when Mappa picked up Attack on Titan, there was no way in fucking hell it was gonna match up the studio with.
No.
And the fact that that season 4 part 1 looked as good as it did, even with all the circumstances with COVID, and that they only had like a fucking year to make it, like
And a team of like 16 people doing all the storyboards.
it still looks good. You know?
It's crazy. Yeah, we
Like, I
definitely
don't like
nowadays take like advantage of just like how well animated things are, because Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, all that shit, like that was incredibly rare. Like at 5 years, well, maybe not 5 years, but like 10 years ago, early 2000s anime
Mhm.
stuff like that.
10 years
Almost
ago
kinda
was still the 2010s. My
Well,
God.
2010s, yeah. I mean, even
early
then,
early 2010s. Now we're in the
you just
early
faded
2010s.
to faded to dust after I said that.
I'm 22.
The thing is, it's just like I low key feel like some of y'all are ungrateful. I hate to say it,
Yeah.
but it's like some of y'all are fucking ungrateful. Even with shows that are so well put together, are way better quality than this. Like people still complain because they use CGI. Oh, they didn't do
And-
this scene. Oh, they didn't do this.
Yeah.
Like I said, adaptation.
Mhm.
It is an adaptation. It's not even necessarily meant for, I mean, it is meant for manga people, but not only them. It's meant for people who haven't read it. And it's meant to like
Right.
give maybe not a new experience, but it's supposed to give a different experience compared
Yeah.
to the manga.
And certain things are also like almost impossible. Certain manga stories are almost impossible
Yeah.
to like tell.
Berserk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Berserk.
like Berserk or One Punch Man's like later like
Godlike art.
Yeah. I mean, that's getting
After-
that's getting a season 3.
it's
but
getting
yeah.
season 3, and bless whoever's taking that up. I
Yeah,
wish
who's
you
doing that?
I wish you well.
Oh right,
And
because
Because,
JC
like-
staff also dropped the show, didn't they?
Yeah.
Probably. I would say
And
after
then
the fucking
also-
online hate they got, fuck those fans, dude.
What if
Oh god, yeah.
Quote unquote
What if
fans.
Also,
what if One Punch Man? What if One Punch Man every season is just a new studio?
See, I think that'd be kind of
Uh,
fun.
that'd be kind of
That's
fun.
kind of fun. Hot potato catch.
And I
Also
was
with,
gonna
like,
say, oh sorry,
Atta-
Micah.
Sorry, like with Attack on Titan, Part 3. Let me tell you, I'm
It's-
surprised that's getting adapted because that is. Even they were like, "How do we do this? This feels impossible."
Yeah, like map because part 2, like compared to part 1, it looks miles better. But even
does.
with that, I'm just like,
Part 3 is gonna
Mappa-
be, if it looks good, that's gonna be a blessing.
Mappa,
And-
you got this one, bro. Like considering that they're literally adapting like so many shows right now. They're basically adapting like most, if not all, of like the new gen dark shonens.
Yeah.
Which
Go
is
ahead,
funny to
Ethan.
me.
The almost
I
but
think-
not sign-ins.
Yeah.
Wait, so I was gonna say to
Yeah.
also talk further on Attack on Titan, to keep the level of consistent quality they had with, they took a 7-year break.
Literally.
Oh yeah, I fucking remember that. That's why Attack on Titan was like gone for so long.
And I
because,
know,
like,
and I know y'all, My Hero fans out there on Twitter, you are not waiting 7 years.
7 years.
for season 6.
For
No.
season 3 level of animation.
Mhm.
yeah. Do I agree it could be better? Absolutely.
Don't
Yeah,
say
but
you
like-
would because that's a lie.
No, I think it could be better. I mean,
No,
but
I meant,
anything
no,
could-
no, no.
No,
I
no,
meant,
that
don't
you would
say,
wait.
Don't say you would wait 7 years because that's a lie.
Oh, no. I agree that the show could be better, but at the same, because I do have my issues with it. At the same time, I'm just kind of like, bro,
I think
I-
we've.
I don't know what y'all want at this point.
Seth, do you have anything else to tell?
I got some other stuff to talk about. We've
Yeah.
I'm gonna
But
chew
let-
you
but to-
guys out.
but yeah, we've chewed out Annie Twitter.
Yeah, we
Um,
have.
We
Big middle finger, right? Yeah.
To sum
Sure.
up my thoughts on episode 122, very solid. Chef's kiss.
Mhm.
Totally, it was great.
Very good.
Good pacing.
Let's talk about it's related to this episode. Let's talk about this ED
Oh,
because we didn't mention it yet. This ED is special because just like the Twice episode a couple of episodes ago, they changed the visuals for like when the chorus drops. And for this time, it's young Bakugo. He's reaching out to grab someone's hand, and then the next panel is older Bakugo looking like solemnly grabbing young Deku's hand, and
it's
that's
a
kind of
reference to that. It's a reference to that one like
The
volume,
volume
cover.
cover.
yeah. Funny story. It's really good. Funny story about this ED. It was
Heck.
leaked like a few like last week because Shonen Jump in the magazine when you're reading the chapters, right? I think it's the end of the chapter, you'll get like an ad like related to that series that you just read. So you'll get like, merch ads or like anime previews. And in the Shonen Jump magazine, they are advertising the album where the song Sketch by Akiyama, I forgot his first name, something Akiyama. His album's coming out, has a song on it.
Mhm.
They provide some like images from the ED to visualize what it is. Accidentally put the Bakugo shot in there from the Blu-ray, which is creditless. So it's like you not only leaked the episode that didn't come out yet, you leaked the Blu-ray that shouldn't even be a thing people are thinking about yet.
Yeah. I remember you saw that tweet and you're like, what is this about? And then like
Yeah, because I saw a tweet. It was a big statement from the My Hero Twitter account.
Oh, that. Okay.
It was a big
Yeah.
apology, and I translated the apology, and I was like, because I guess the Google Translate wasn't really translating it into anything. So I was like, I don't know what they're apologizing for. I dug through some of the quote tweets. They were saying like, oh, the Bakugo ending got leaked. I was like, the Bakugo ending. And I remember we were looking for it last week because we watched the 2 episodes and we were like, what
Yeah.
are they talking about? They didn't have this here. It was in the magazine
Mhm.
that they leaked by accident.
I see.
And that's so funny to me.
that's really funny. That
But-
is so funny.
The story gets crazy.
Worse.
Uh,
It gets worse.
Akiyama, I'm just gonna call him Akiyama because that's his last name. Singer of the ED, his album's coming out a few days, like actually no, not even a few days ago, yesterday. This man was arrested for assault and battery of a 20-year-old woman while intoxicated.
Oh.
So he is in jail now for beating up some girl while drunk. And I was just like, I didn't believe it. I was like, what? And you know what's crazy?
I thought it was just gonna stop at the little leaky thing, like ha ha ha. Now it's just like, oh, it's not really
And
funny anymore. This is just
The
a
thing
crime.
too is that
Yeah.
like he was live tweeting about like each
The
episode.
anime as it came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
he was
then
like
Eventually,
on the
it
fan
just
side.
ends. Yeah.
And this happens. He's arrested for this. This isn't like
Didn't
Yeah.
it say like domestic or something? I'm not sure.
the most of the articles say it was assault and battery, not like a domestic thing. But yeah, he's in jail now. I don't know if he's obviously going to be put on trial, but I don't know if they said anything about that yet.
Because I like this ending.
Yeah, I really like this song too.
Well, that's a stain on the ending.
So now
Yeah.
it makes me wonder, like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Are they
Think-
gonna
Are they gonna
change
replace
it?
the ending? I don't.
It's happened before.
like they're going
Oh,
to
for
replace
real?
the ending anyway because we're reaching the end of this
Oh.
we're reaching the end of this core.
Yeah.
But like, are they gonna replace it early? Like, I don't know what they're gonna.
I honestly, if they're gonna replace it, they might as well just wait until they change the opening and ending, anyways, because like
Yeah.
I feel like that just makes more sense.
They're definitely gonna pull it out of streaming services, like the song, and they're definitely going to delay that album release.
Oh, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Because
So-
this reminds me of when the JJK ending, the Lost in Paradise ending.
Oh
that-
yeah, one of the
the-
drummer got arrested for like, what the fuck did he do?
But he was also arrested for committing like a pretty bad crime, and they like pulled out like every like
Yeah, it was it got
every
it got
streaming
taken
service that
off
had
of,
it gone.
yeah, taken off of Spotify. It was
Lost
just
in
gone offline.
Paradise.
They did put it back up like not too long ago, so like you
Mhm.
are able to stream the song now, so like it's fine. But that happened, and that was bonkers.
It was pretty goddamn bonkers.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're gonna replace it early or if they're gonna. I don't know. But
Guess we'll see.
that's
I guess we will.
Anyways,
Yeah, that's just like
Mm.
a crazy like little scandal that happened
Yeah.
in the MHA
Quirky
sphere.
little scandal.
A quirky little
the
scandal.
My Hero sphere.
I hope that young woman is fine. I hope
Yeah,
she's
I hope
okay.
she's okay.
And yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck
Mhm.
that guy. Don't do that shit.
That's the lesson of this
Yeah.
episode of UA Anime Club. Don't.
Don't be Endeavor.
Don't.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Don't be Endeavor. But yeah,
Yeah.
Anyways,
but
There's
that's a little anecdote.
Yeah.
Of,
what was
Because
your
what?
other? What was
You
your
had-
other?
Yeah. A little something spicy to talk about.
okay. Now, this is dangerous water we're about to tread on. Dare I say we might get canceled? And now that I've said the thing that I'm going to put in the cold open in this episode, we're gonna.
The game
We're
gets
gonna-
canceled. We're not gonna
we're
get canceled, bro. I don't think they give a shit.
Ocean's quote retweets us.
Oh my god.
I want to talk about Baku Deku. Baku Deku, for those who are listening to this and somehow have no fucking clue what I just said, that is that's the romantic fan pairing ship of the two characters. It's been around for quite some time.
It's one of the most popular My Hero ships.
It's one of the most popular My Hero ships, and a lot of people, like I think a majority of Baku Deku fans, like most shippers, know that it's just fandom, like just having fun kind of situation. Which is nothing wrong with that. Everyone has their own ships. I have my ships. You have your ships.
Oh yeah.
Shigaraki
Oh.
X All Might.
X me.
That's no, that's bad. No.
But there's a select, very loud minority of Baku Deku fans that swear that this entire series is constructed around this ship canonically, and that Horikoshi is like, it's gonna become canon, and it's gonna be like full circle. This is the core of
The core
My
of
Heroes
MHA.
of MHA. I believe, and I even presented this as a sort of like to these guys as a sort of like idea for like a potential video essay. I don't got time to do that, so I'm just gonna bring it up here. I think that the subtext around Bakugo and Deku's relationship has been sort of misunderstood. It's like a misconception because we see it in this episode. Bakugo does love Deku, but not in the romantic way.
No.
Of course.
I believe that Horikoshi, he's written them in such a way it reminds me a lot of like brothers, especially like an older brother, younger brother kind of dynamic, where you have Bakugo in the position of older brother, and then Deku is in the position of younger brother, where he's getting all this like attention, this and that, Bakugo's kind of like resentful towards that. Bakugo in this episode gives off the energy of like, yo, I'm gonna take a bullet for you, but get the fuck out of my room. Like that's the sort of vibe I got.
Yeah.
And
Fuck out of my room.
yeah, I think it's like sort of a misconception, as I said. that of Horikoshi's like intent. Now, of course, there's the saying books are owned by their readers, so therefore we're gonna attach our own understanding of
Yeah.
text.
Plus, like, this is like you said, this is also like this doesn't apply to like every shipper. Obviously, I really don't care because at the end of the day, like, I think most rational people like shipping, even if it is deep for them, it's not deep to the point where they feel like their interpretation is like is like
Is real.
final. Yeah.
Right.
Like I think it's literally just for fun, so I don't want to like, at least for me, I don't want to give off this idea where it's like you can't look at them as lovers. They're not
Right.
gay. They'll never be gay, because people will always do that, and I feel like a lot of the hate that's thrown towards a lot of My Hero shippers is just thinly veiled homophobia. But that's
There's
my
definitely
opinion.
there's definitely some thinly veiled homophobia in some of it. What I'm saying here is that like you can even see it in like Hori's like sketches, or in like sort of like the calmer slice of life chapters of My Hero Academia, where they'll be like bickering or something, and like over like in a sketch there's like over a TV remote. Like that, it reminds me a lot of like when me and my brother were younger, because we have an age gap between us, but not like a super huge one.
Yeah.
And it's like in that like younger time, a lot of like people who have siblings, not, of course every sibling relationship is different, but most of the time you hear like, when they're younger, you're kind of like at each other's like necks, and then as you get older, you sort of like come around towards each other, and like
you mature and realize like, oh, this is a human being with like thoughts and feelings and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that in this episode, like that kind of parallel. And speaking of parallels, if you remember the second movie, the kids that they are paralleled with are literal siblings. So that's one thing.
Also, the one guy that they both look up to, and the one guy that also mentors both of them, All Might.
They have the same father figure.
Yeah, like
same daddy.
They have the same dad. Also, it kind of plays into one for all for one, that whole dichotomy, right? Because All for One and the First User were actual brothers. So it seems like brotherhood, or just siblinghood in general, in My Hero Academia is sort of like
importante.
Where, and of course, even though they're not literal brothers, they, to me at least, feel very like written that way. Now,
the show definitely feels more kind of like about family than
there's a lot of
romance.
There's a lot of family issues in My Hero Academia. There's a lot of father issues in My Hero Academia.
There's a lot of family issues, and just also like the love within family too.
Love is a very, very central like theme of the series, but it's not always romantic.
Yes.
Love doesn't always have to be romantic, which obviously, but like
ultimately, I would argue that there is no romance in My Hero Academia at all, aside from like maybe if you squint your eyes, Kaminari and Jiro, but that's it.
That's not really squinting your eyes. That's very open. They're dating.
That's when you open your eyes and you see the truth. No,
that's when you see the truth. The truth is
like the other thing too that I kind of don't like, and it's not even just with My Hero, just like shipping culture in general, where people are like, if you don't ship the most quote unquote like canon thing that has the most proof behind it, like that should not be the point of shipping at all, to have the superiority thing to be like, my ship is more canon than yours. Like, y'all are so corny with that shit. Y'all are so dumb. I see it everywhere, bro. It's so stupid.
Like, it's sort of like a delusion.
It is kind of delusional,
like where with the ship, right? Because with people in this ship, not what, I don't care if you ship Bakugo and Deku. That's a different conversation. I'm talking about like when you take the ship so serious that now it is like completely
it's a personality trait, basically.
It's a personality trait, and it's completely like altered like your filter upon looking at this series.
Like it's very clear that some people's view on these pieces of media is very much altered. Obviously, like you said, it's just interpretation. It depends on the person. That's totally fine. But sometimes I do really question, like, what did you guys read? Like, I don't
know,
think we're reading the same manga.
Shigaraki Exa court
I don't
deleter.
think we're watching the same show.
Like, My
But
Hero Academia is very much focused on parallels between
like if it
Deku and
sorry.
Shigaraki, between All Might and Endeavor. It's just like very focused on that, and so is just that whole kind of sibling relationship between Deku and Bakugo.
Yeah. If it's getting to the point where you're getting mad because two characters aren't standing next to each other all the time, you might need to take a break.
Mhm.
Take a sip of water.
Mineta X
Right.
Deku.
No, that's canon. Like,
That
Yeah,
is
that
canon.
is.
have you read
canon.
the
If you read the
manga?
manga,
Yeah.
it happens. It's real.
It's
Wait,
real.
what happens?
Mineta X Deku.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm
have
so
feelings
glad
for
to be
you.
back at UA High.
I
I
want,
want you.
What?
Huh?
because yeah, there's like a lack of oh my gosh.
Lormantic.
I ran out of water, so I can't like articulate really well right now.
Dude
Just,
said
like,
lormantic.
blah blah blah. Romantic stuff in this manga is very, very far in between. Even I would say, like the quote canon main one, Deku and Uraraka. I think
Mm-hmm.
Barely.
I think Deku and Uraraka's relationship, fantastic friendship, right? 100%. Like, Horikoshi did a good job establishing that these two care about each other in a friendly way.
Yeah.
I think in a romantic way, he didn't. If he's planning to do it that way, then I don't think
Didn't
he
really.
did it
Because
right.
let me get on y'all for a second. Let's
Yeah.
switch attention. I'm gonna get on y'all. Let me not phrase it like that. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really been a fan of, like, I think I just never was a fan of that pairing romantically because of the way that it was set up. Because it's kind of like, I don't want to say it was out of nowhere. It just felt kind of random to be like, oh yeah, Uraraka, by the way, you like him, right? Yeah, you like him. Like, it just kind of felt.
It's love.
At the
It's
moment,
love.
The voice actor switch.
I feel like at a certain point, that kind of like basic pairing kind of became almost like a twist, because now they're kind of splitting off in their own lives. Because like Uraraka, of course, eventually was like, no, I gotta focus on myself, and of course Deku, he also just has his own
Deku
responsibilities.
has his own stuff going on right now.
And
so.
he can't get Uraraka mixed in with that.
I think what Horikoshi did at the beginning of the series, where he hit, to me, I guess if you're writing a romance, you got to commit to the romance. And at the beginning, it felt like he was committed. He had the traditional meet cute. He had like her
She slaps him.
pretty much like be the reason why he even like passes the entrance exam. She was like, they were together all the time. There was glances and blushing, and there was like a spark. But then at some point in the series, and this is mostly because of Horikoshi deciding that probably one of the worst decisions he's made, not making Uraraka, Deku, Ida the main trio.
Yep, absolutely. I funnily enough, Seth, I was just gonna say the biggest mistake was giving in to Todoroki's popularity.
Todoroki's
I'm sorry,
Donnie.
Donnie.
I do like Ida.
That's gonna get you canceled.
Oh, absolutely. Fuck it. I don't care.
Because the big three is Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo.
Continue, Seth. You're right.
They
Donnie.
had that trio, right? That traditional two boys, one girl. And
oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
And you had like they were together all the time. Uraraka got a lot of character focus in that second arc with the tournament, Ida too. And then they sort of get phased into not the background, but they get phased out of like major importance in favor of Bakugo and Todoroki, which isn't wrong. They're great characters and all, and I love them.
Yeah.
But you had that like what was the start of what could have been like a really strong romance. The story refocused itself into a different thing, leaving that behind. And it was by the time Horikoshi is now trying, well, I'm not even going to say that because I don't think he really is, but like if they were to try to like all of a sudden now there's romantic things again, it would there's like a
That's
giant
boring.
gap. There's a giant gap of like not much romantic
Development.
development
Yeah.
there.
Which I guess could go into the whole another
Go ahead.
criticism people have in My Hero, where it's like prioritization of characters and whatever. I don't know. It's like that. Like it just didn't feel that developed to me, and
Mhm.
also it's so fucking easy to be like, oh yeah, the girl main character and the main guy character get together. Like that's so fucking boring.
That's why I
Especially
said like
especially with their like dynamic, just personally to me, like romantically, it's fucking boring. I'm snoring.
That's why I'm gonna throw a bone to one of these shipping communities. That's why I'm kind of behind. I don't ship it myself, but I'm kind of behind the idea, or I at least understand Bakugo and Uraraka, because that's
Oh,
at
no,
least
I'm
like
not a fan.
no, I'm not saying I ship it. I'm not saying that
Oh,
like it
Lord.
makes sense. I'm saying like, it's like different than, main guy, main girl. It's at least there's like a flavor to it a little bit,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a flavor to it.
I
I don't
may
know.
not
I'm not big
I
on that
may
one
not like that flavor, but there is a flavor, and I can
either.
at least appreciate that.
Because like even with something like Kaminari and Jiro, like you could argue that's boring, and it kind of is.
What?
But no,
Let him
listen to
finish.
me.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
You could argue it's kind of boring, but I personally prefer that way more than Deku and Uraraka,
I think
because like they both have contrasting colors. Like they're just cute. I don't know, man.
This is a
It-
spicy episode.
This
I
is a
think-
spicy meatball
See,
episode.
You know what has the ultimate
here's why I
spice
think
to it?
here's why I think Kaminari
There you
Jiro
go.
works, right? And it's what sets it apart from the Deku Uraraka is that there is like from the beginning
It's
a sort of-
consistent.
there's a consistent like back and forth sort of like
Yeah.
like teasing. There's
Right.
it's got like that little spark to it. It's got that like little bits of that
It is
kind of
spark.
will they won't they. It make a good romance to me, especially in fiction, is I want those two to get together. And like
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
story
It's not like I'm expecting them to get together. It's like no, I want them to be together.
I want them together because of what their scenes together like create. There's like sparks there.
It's
Yeah.
like you could tell that they would rely on each other.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it was like consistently developed, and then we had the festival where like Kaminari was like showing interest in Jiro's like talent and
And they were
stuff, and she was like,
kissing,
ah.
But
And then we
because
had
of like
we had the recent
Uraraka,
scene. We had the recent scene where like, I felt it too. I know you felt it, Seth, but I felt it too. Or Midnight was like, you need to think about who is the most important to you right now.
Mhm.
And
I
then
won
Kaminari
that
looks
episode. I won.
he looks back and Jiro's
That felt earned. If there was like a confession scene like afterward, I would have cried. But
Aw.
that would never happen.
that would
Um,
never happen.
That would never happen. 13
I
year
will-
old, not 13. 15? When did the show come out? Young me would have cried.
I was gonna
That's-
say,
oh yeah, go ahead, Ethan.
I was gonna say the spiciest. this is the worst. This is the
Oh,
worst thing I
boy.
would say. The spiciest one would be Deku and Toga.
That would be pretty spicy.
Ooh, no, you
That
know
would
what's
be.
spicy? You know what's spicier? El Chaco and Toga.
Yeah,
But
that's what
that's-
I'm saying.
That's pretty spicy.
That's spicy.
Okay, I was.
Same guy, but Toga's infatuated with her too. Like that's a spicy meatball.
I was gonna say.
She just needs therapy.
Yeah.
And prison time.
I was gonna say all they needed to do, all Horikoshi needed to do was just make it a 5-man band. Like He could have just thrown in Ida and Ochako into their big three, and they would have been
Yeah.
fine.
That's kind of true. That's kind of true.
But like
Yeah,
5-man
'cause
band,
then you
also a
could've-
classic shonen thing. Like that's Hunter x Hunter has that. Not Hunter x Hunter. I fucking meant whatever the previous thing that the Hunter x Hunter guy made.
Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes, Yu Yu Hakusho. It's a
Yu Yu
5-man band.
Hakusho.
Even pre crossing the Grand Line One Piece, like East
Yeah,
Blue One
yeah,
Piece,
yeah,
like the
yeah.
5-man band.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fuckers in that
You know
band.
what's great about One Piece is that Oda made it obvious that he is not interested in any romance within that crew.
Mhm.
He just does it in every SBS. They're like, "Are they gonna date?" And he's like, "Do what you want. I'm not doing anything."
I don't
Yeah,
care.
He
I don't give a
doesn't
fuck.
care. But like with this, it's like Uraraka and Midoriya. It's like very off and on and
Right,
not
yeah.
It just
consistent.
makes me roll my eyes. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay.
Look, see, the
There's
thing
like,
is,
I do
many-
agree that they
Commit.
have a well-written relationship. I'm just kind of like,
You gotta commit to it.
There's too many gaps in
Yeah.
between their like interactions, I think. And Horikoshi has had this like story from beginning to end, like planned out since the beginning. I think he probably put in too much. So if like we wanted to have like Uraraka Deku happen, I feel like all of their interactions were spaced out too far.
yeah.
By,
I think
like,
that
of course, yeah.
could also be said with like a lot of the other characters who haven't gotten like
Mhm.
attention yet, because like it's very clear that there are priorities set elsewhere, especially like now in the manga with like other narrative stuff. So like I understand. I think it is kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, I'm just like, he's trying to tell a story. He's telling the story that he wants
Yeah.
to tell. So like, if a ship doesn't happen, I can't get mad because that wasn't the point.
right, of
That's
course.
That
why
wasn't
yeah.
the point at the start.
That's why to me, like, it feels like a kind of twist on the stereotype. Because he set it up as that, but then eventually he probably just kind of maybe changed his mind on how to write that.
I
But
think
it's like it's so easy to where eventually they kind of just grow apart.
I think I could see that because you have the scene where she's like, I have to push down
Yeah.
this like feeling, right?
I
And like
remember when that came out.
Yeah.
this is a spoiler because I think it's going to happen next episode, but there's something that like adds to that like
Yeah.
scene where whatever you're thinking right now would not
That's true.
apply to that anymore.
There is future manga context. I obviously won't
Thi-
spoil.
This is
That-
that
Don't
Star
tell
Wars
me.
shit. This is that Star Wars shit where it's like, oh, I'm not really in love with him. I just thought about him a lot.
Yeah.
I just thought about them a lot and like, you know, want to kiss them and stuff.
Actually, yeah, take away my blade. That it is inconsistent. It's not twist.
Yeah.
Because it felt like a twist initially, where it was like, oh, the
Yeah.
main girl, she's not. But then like,
I guess we can like roll back to this conversation when that episode happens, and we can like
Yeah.
continue that thought.
we can talk
But you know
more
what?
about it.
You know what? If you know Deku Baku or whatever it's called,
Bakudeku, yeah.
Bakudeku. Okay, you want to have your MLM ship with Bakugo,
Yeah.
and then you want to convince that it's canon,
Dude.
quote unquote. Bakugo and Kirishima is right
Yeah.
there.
Well, the thing about Kiribaku is that like, I think there's a group of Kiribaku shippers who are just as bad. They are just as bad. as
Oh,
Bakugo shippers.
absolutely.
They are just as
Yeah.
delusional, especially because like, and that's coming from me. I love Kiribaku. Like, I love that ship to fucking hell and back, but like, there hasn't been any content for it, so you know, it doesn't really matter anymore. But at the same time, like there, I don't want to get into like specific things, but there's just like a bunch of things that happen where people are just like, damn, these shippers are fucking delusional, you know.
Yeah.
I
Which
think
is really-
Todoroki
which
and
is really
Bakugo is a
which-
funny shit.
That's a funny ship. I actually think that's fun. Okay, what are y'all?
What's a funny ship?
Let's wrap up the. Well, I don't know if we're wrapping up the episode, but like, what are y'all's ships?
Oh God.
What are y'all's
Serious
ships in
ship
My
or
Hero?
like funny?
Serious or
whatever.
crack ship, whatever you like. I don't
Okay.
care.
Okay.
We gotta think.
Okay,
I'll name.
you can go first. No,
Okay, I'll go first. Number one, Kiribaku. I've always loved Kiribaku because Kiribaku, like, that was the dynamic that was kind of consistently set up for a while. You know,
Yeah.
like
If
for
not
start,
if not romantic, like then obviously it's 100% they are best friends.
they're best
Like-
buds. Like they're bros. Like Kirishima was always just nice to him, even though Bakugo was like a fucking dick. And like they just got progressively closer with each other. And then like the fucking in the all is it all for one or one for all? Who's the villain's name?
All for one.
All for one. In that fucking fight, I forgot like the exact circumstances, but like the whole crew is there. It's like Deku, Ida, Momo, Kirishima, and they're rescuing Bakugo. And Deku literally looks at Kirishima and is like, "Who is the one guy that's always been with Bakugo and the one dude that I know for a fact that he will let himself be saved by? You, motherfucker, you're gonna be the one to get him." That was so pivotal. That was such a pivotal moment that like
Okay.
solidified like, oh, you guys are and then there's later on in season 4, I think, where it's like there's those Kirishima centered episodes and there's like that flashback where Kirishima's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm all that good, you know, like and Bakugo basically compares him to All Might. Like he basically compares him to All Might, saying that he's like super fucking strong, and the fact that he doesn't give up just shows how strong he is. I'm just like,
I like it too.
I remember when that episode came out and I made a stupid joke.
What was
what
it?
was your
no.
dumb
It
joke?
was Kirishima thought about Bakugo and then got really hard.
It got really hard. I mean,
Okay.
what happened, bro? That's exactly what happened.
I got a good ship.
Okay.
Say it.
Mirko X me.
That's a good ship.
Yeah, I'm glad.
It should be me though, but you know.
Mine is Tetsu and Kendo because
That's
I like
that is the, okay.
That's an Ethan
that is
ship.
Ethan character, Ethan ship right there.
Because like they don't.
I like them
do
too
stuff.
though.
They do stuff, but they're not like pivotal characters. But they do have a little thing because like Tetsu's like very like, yeah, Kendo, she's so strong and cool and you know, like
big hands.
big hands. That's a
It's
cute one.
it comes back to the Deku and Uraraka problem where there's no like spice. There's no moments where you're like, yeah, I want to see them together. They're just like, okay, they're Horikoshi's like grabbing like the toys and he's like in your face and he's like, they're together, and you're like, okay, I guess so.
Hori, it's fucking raw.
It's a raw steak.
Fan art's cute though.
It's cute though, yeah. I'll give it that.
I think the funny thing is like I'm weak to any romance. I like even poorly written romances. I look at
you're
Scott
just a
Pilgrim.
sappy guy.
Yeah, like Scott Pilgrim. It's like in the movie, people don't like Ramona and Scott get together, and it's like I like it either way. And I'm just like I like Ochaku.
I think
But
a ship
They're
that would
definitely
be
flawed, very flawed.
I think a relationship in that the manga/anime that would be really funny would be All Might and Inko Midoriya.
Dude, I love the idea that he just like
He just becomes his dad.
just
I'm his
actually
dad
becomes
now.
his dad because you know it's not like his actual dad's going to show up anytime soon. But
Yeah.
I
I'm your
have,
dad now.
if y'all remember, y'all been listening to the podcast, you know what my ship is.
Cool.
It's
Kamijiro.
Kamijiro.
Yeah.
But my crack ship, my crack ship is Hawks and Mirko.
Oh no, I like that ship. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I could
I
see
think
that.
that's cool. I
They're
think that's
both
cool.
kind of insane.
I think my joke.
my black king and queen. Yeah.
I think my joke ship is
That
kind
man
of
has no melanin in his skin. What do you mean?
but who's he voiced by? Right?
Zeno
exactly.
There you
Robinson.
go.
Exactly.
Wait, okay, so is Hawks just like really light skin?
Absolutely.
What
Um,
were you saying, Ethan?
My crack ship, which is not really a crack ship, it's just one that would never happen. It's just Momo and Ida because they're kind of goofy. Because they're the
Oh,
smart. They're the
They're
smart
cute.
ones.
After the second movie where they were like Class A's mom and dad, I was like, I get it.
I get
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
I
they're
get
they're
it.
cute. I used to really like Momo and Jiro because like they had some like character tidbits where it kind of implies that they're like good friends. We don't see that though,
Then
but like
Horikoshi gave up.
not a game.
No,
Just that
Horikoshi tends to draw them real close a lot, like
he draws a lot of
like
art
real
of them.
close.
Yeah, I think they're a little gay. I think they're a little gay.
I think Jiro has two hands.
Jiro's two hands. Yeah, Jiro's
Yeah.
two hands.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like on Momo's boobs. What?
That
I used to like. I didn't see too much of this ship, but I used to like people who shipped like Mina and Ochako or Mina and Jiro. I don't know. Mina ships are cute.
Yeah.
Because she's the
Mhm.
fun,
She's-
energetic
Kirishima
one.
and Mina is fine. I don't ship it, but it's fine.
She
I
seems like
ship.
she would like woman.
I ship all of Class A.
Ew.
I think my other the other ship I just like a lot. It's like one of the only canon ones. It's La Brava and Gentle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're
because
just
You're sad.
married.
because they're adorable.
You're sad. I'm starting to remember because I used to be really into My Hero, so I'm starting to remember like all like ships that I like. Ooh, I like this ship. They didn't really, there was a few interactions, but I really liked Kaminari and Shinso. I thought that was cute.
Oh yeah.
I like that one.
Mhm.
That one's good.
Have you noticed that every ship in My Hero Academia is just like it's just
Colors.
Squidward, SpongeBob, but
kind of.
but anime.
It's kind of true, kind of trueness.
Yeah,
And,
shipping can be fun when looking through it, like
Oh,
as like a,
just
like a
for
fun thing.
funsies, for silliness. I also, well, this isn't really a crack ship. I just like it. I like Dobby Hawks. I like Dobby Hawks. I know they don't
Muscular
like
ex a prison cell.
Oh, you horny.
I know they don't like each other, but like they're both really hot, so like it's fine. It's really fine.
But yeah, shipping can be fun, but like I guess the lesson here is you can't take it that serious.
Yeah, don't.
Like I don't care. Again, to circle it all the way back to the beginning of this discussion, I don't care about Deku Baku that much.
Yeah.
Just like have fun. Don't
Have
try
fun.
to be like.
Just
That's
read
it.
Berserk.
Just read Berserk.
Yeah, read Berserk is a true love triangle.
Yes.
But
yeah,
we
just
got-
don't be because honestly, I feel like after I read the manga, I was like, you know what? I kind of get Bakudeku. Do I really ship it? But like, I get it. There's
Yeah.
history behind that. There's years of history behind that. I get it.
It's the my main character, main rivalship that's gonna happen all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which
I get it.
which to me I think is equally as boring as main boy, main girl. But
There's more spice because
there is spite. Okay,
course.
I want to kill you, but
Because think about it this way. Like it can be boring, but think about it this way. Because like imagine you have characters who are so hell bent on defeating each other forever and ever and ever to the point where they're just obsessed with like trying to beat them and learning their weaknesses and it's like you're gay. At some point it's just like this is how do you even justify this?
Yeah.
But yeah, in conclusion, I think Bakugo Deku is like a sibling kind of thing. That's the way I've absorbed the text. We have Ethan on this episode.
hi.
Ethan, is there anything that you wanted to like talk about?
Well, I've been just thinking about Shigaraki a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thinking about how I love him as a villain a lot.
Mhm.
I like him a lot because a lot of people criticize anarchist villains for not really like having the best of motives or like just they find it boring, like the idea to destroy everything and then rebuild up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love Shigaraki so much because it's just like it's simple. It's simple in a way that he knows it's simple as well. It's not like I'm going to destroy everything and that's so big and important. He's just like, no, I want to destroy everything because I want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
He's also
Mhm.
experienced like the flaws of this society too.
Right, exactly. And I think especially what makes his like destroy everything goal feel the most satisfying is that he's like, I want my teammates to get whatever they want as well. Like after
Yeah.
the world's gone, they can have it. It's all theirs. I don't care what
Mhm.
happens. I just want to destroy it. And I
Mm.
love that because like a lot of anarchist villains are really boring and they don't even have teammates. They're like, I'm just using you to help destroy the world. You can go off and die.
Right.
But it's like he cares about them and he loves
does.
them. Yeah. And
They're his friends.
yeah, they are. And I just love that Shigaraki is so enveloped in the destroy everything that it kind of like loops back around to just being interesting, you
Mhm.
know? Because it could so easily have just been like, I mean, I'm gonna kill all my, it's like the goal that every other bad guy in the show has, or besides Stain, obviously, but
Or
but yes,
overhaul.
or overhaul, yeah, as well. But it's like no, he wants to destroy everything because no one helped him, and it's All Might's fault. And the way he says it himself, it's All Might's fault, and I love like Shigaraki just for being simple in a really really good way, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's a very good character.
Yeah.
The entire
His
League of Villains.
goals are very clear.
The entire League of Villains. That core is 5. Am I counting right? Anyway,
I
that
think-
core,
Spinner.
that core group. They feel like the evil Straw Hats.
Yeah. They
They-
do
they-
actually.
The
Like-
evil straw hats is funny.
Yeah, they all have like they're all following one person to achieve their grand goal.
The evil
But-
Straw Hats, but if Zoro's personality was the leader,
Yeah.
kinda. Yeah, kinda. You know what I mean, though.
I like looking at it as if they were the anime 5-man band, because you got Shigaraki in protag role, you have Dabi in rival role, you have
Toga girl.
Toga in girl.
Yeah, sadly.
You have Mr. Compress and Twice as comedic relief, and then you have Spinner, I guess, as the muscle.
coward. Oh.
Or the muscle makes more sense, especially.
Well, I was gonna say, Dabi's the muscle / rival.
He's not the muscle because he's not physically like.
Yeah, but he's the one always taking out the biggest of threats. He fought the ice guy, who was their main threat when fighting in the city.
That is true.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about Shiggy in the league a few episodes.
I
ago.
thought so. That's why I was like worried, but I like Shigaraki. I love him.
Yeah, no, of course.
I love him. I just like all the subtle things that always call back to it's just like, man, I really wish we had sushi right now. And then like without word, sushi just appears the next day and they're like, hey, get some sushi, guys. Everybody.
Yeah.
My little meow meow.
It's like his loving silence.
Mhm.
It's what's really fun about him.
Oh, this dude on Tumblr. So,
I think
Me? Oh.
yeah.
Oh, you saw my reblog.
Yeah. I just wanted Tumblr. Anyways, are we done?
I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Today, this whole week really has just been a wild ride, especially with the Akiyama situation with like talking about Bakudeku. It's just been wild. It's been crazy. This episode was great. Ethan joined
Yeah.
us.
yes. Thank you for joining.
Yay! Woo!
Thank you, Ethan. We
So-
love you.
Of course, brothers.
If you didn't like this episode, then I don't know.
Then you should just
Oh.
perish. You should
Then
fall
you
down a
should
hole.
like it. Right.
You should be a part of the numbers that Giganto Makio destroyed.
Damn, bro. It's
No,
so
no,
crazy.
I have a better solution. There's this button on YouTube, and it's a thumbs up button, right? If you just hated everything we said this episode, hit that, just so we really know.
Yeah, and comment too.
Comment
know.
too with the keyword "great episode," just so we know that you don't
Great
like
episode.
us. And then share it with your friends and say, "Wow, this," and have them do the same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then like subscribe
Mhm.
and
Subscribe.
follow us
If
and
you
stuff.
really hate us, subscribe,
Yeah, and then
Especially.
like turn on the bell
And if you love Bakudeku, subscribe.
Of course, we put out nothing but Bakudeku content.
yeah.
Absolutely.
We love Bakudeku.
So hit subscribe, hit the bell when to be notified when UA Anime Club episodes come out, as well as when other Figure 8 content comes out. Ethan, I think you're still streaming Sonic Frontiers.
I am. Yes, I am.
Mhm.
Just it's Thanksgiving week has been very busy.
It has.
Even though I've had off of work, is like I've been out every day.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next adventure.